Today, I'm going to share with you 12 beginner running tips. How to start running when you're over 40. So let's get into it. Start with walking first, especially if you're overweight. Walk for a certain amount of time, like 20 minutes, or a distance, 5,000 steps. And if you're not already in walking shape, it may be best to figure out how many steps you're currently averaging per day and then add somewhere between 2,500 and 5,000 steps for at least a couple of weeks. If you have been walking regularly and you feel like picking up the pace, there are a plethora of different couch to 5K or walk to run type of plans out there on the internet or on mobile apps too. Tracking on your smartwatch or smartphone before introducing running also gives you a basis to make informed decisions on where to begin your running journey. If it doesn't feel right, that's okay. Maybe your body is just not ready to run yet. Continue your walking regimen for another couple of weeks before giving it another go. Eventually, you will be ready to take on some running. Shoes are very important. Getting a good supportive pair of shoes for walking or running is absolutely imperative. Many brands offer an online shoe finder on their websites based on what your goals are, your gait, type of walking or running surfaces you may be maneuvering, desired comfort and performance, distance, and so on. If you're new to this, it may be a good idea to go into a local walking or running store. They can assess your gait and, based on your needs, provide you with some recommendations to try right there in the store. Shoes can be expensive, but they're totally worth it. A lot of brands give a 30 to 90-day return, no questions asked policy, which is amazing if you don't end up liking those shoes. Some brands have standing discounts for nurses, first responders, and military and veterans, and they can be significant, sometimes up to 50% off. I've placed a couple links below in the description for you to check out, as well as a couple referral codes. One of the most important things you can do for yourself is to set realistic goals and have a supporting action plan. Let's walk through a basic goal sheet that I've put together for us to use. The important key here is your why. Why are you setting this goal? What is your reason? Is it to lose weight, increase cardiovascular performance? You have something to prove? You want to join a local walking or running club? Whatever it is, give yourself a date to complete your goal. One great way to do this is to make it fun and exciting by signing up for a local 5K or a 1-mile walk run to give yourself something to look forward to. And this also gives you a preview into how cool the running and walking community can really be. The action plan is where it all happens. What are the things that have to happen in order for you to crush the obstacles that would keep you from achieving your goal? Now you come up with some rules for yourself. These are your non-negotiables, things that you absolutely allow and absolutely do not allow, like making sure to listen to your body if you're hurt, and no alcohol during the goal period. Because shoes are so important, I make sure to give them a space of their own to keep track of when I should be looking for replacements. Finally, paying attention to your nutrition should be a vital part of your plan as well. Here's a couple of videos that you can check out right here on the channel. If you're interested in the different versions of this goal sheet, I've placed a link in the description where you can download it for free. When it comes to goal setting, losing weight is one of the most common goals for someone to start walking or running, particularly for people over 40. It is a great goal, but please remember that it is always better to start with walking. Now it's time to warm up, cool down, and hydrate. These things help avoid injury. They can also decrease your daily soreness, and believe me, you'll have some. Drinking water before, during, and after your run can help you avoid dehydration and flush the lactic acid from your muscles. Do you know the difference between soreness and injury? Soreness typically occurs over 2 days following exercise. The American College of Sports Medicine defines soreness that occurs in the days following physical activity as delayed onset muscle soreness. It can develop as early as 12 hours after you work out and can last for up to 3 to 5 days afterwards. It can often be described as dull or achy or tightness of muscles. Injury, on the other hand, can be immediate or it can happen over time. Signs of abrupt injury include things such as swelling or bruising or significant limping. If you experience any of these, or your pain is getting worse rather than better, you will want to take some extra days off and get things checked out. People look out for things like sharp pain, shooting pain, or pain that radiates to other areas. Range of motion can also be affected. Now let's talk about some tips for safety. In particular, if you're running outside, one good rule of thumb is to stay close to home, at least at first. This way you can become more familiar with the exercise that you're performing and have to focus less on the environment you're in. Plus, if you overshoot your training for that day, you'll be closer to home. Run during daylight hours and try to stay in more populated areas if possible. Always try to switch up your routes and carry pepper spray. Stay aware of your surroundings. Run with someone else if possible. If not, tell someone where you are going and when you should be back. Use GPS tracking. I like to use my Garmin when I run. One great benefit that I enjoy with my Garmin is that I'm able to share live tracking with my husband or others, or you can share your location from your phone with that person. Speaking of your phone, keep your phone on you and keep it easily accessible. If you have an Apple phone, I like to use Hey Siri on my earbuds. If you're using mobile running apps like Strava, make sure that your privacy settings are updated so that you're not broadcasting your route to bad guys. Then, when you get back, don't post your run route on social media. Breathing is important to get oxygen to your muscles so that you can not only keep moving, but to help us recover after we stop moving. Learning to control your breath while walking will help you better understand how to control it when it's under greater stress, like when you're running. There are different patterns of breathing that you can adopt. Here's just one example from the American Lung Association. Tip number 8 is rest and recovery. I also consider this stretching and mobility. If you were to consider walking or running to be the main event, then your supporting events would be doing something like dynamic stretching and mobility efforts prior to those exercises in order to warm up your muscles in your joints, and it can help you prevent injury. Similarly, after exercise, it's important to stretch all those muscles and joints that worked so hard. Finally, taking days off to allow your body to repair itself is vitally important. Stretching or doing some mobility exercises on rest days can be super helpful in your journey, no matter what fitness level you find yourself. Mobile applications. This is a broad and kind of complex topic that could be a completely different video all by itself. There are some great apps out there, some which fill multiple needs and others that are very specific in the services that they provide. There are also several ways to integrate the different apps and create redundancy. Here are just a few examples. Tracking performance. For Apple users, you could use the Fitness app, or for Garmin users like me, you can use Garmin Connect. Both are great aggregators. For social component, there's great applications out there like Strava. For training programs, like a walking program, I could use Jago. And for running, I am currently using Runna. Route planning, you could use Map My Run or Footpath. And for nutrition, MyFitnessPal is a very common app. If you need to find a race somewhere, there's also an app for that. One that I use is called Let's Race. These are just scratching the surface for mobile apps. My final 3 tips are a lot less technical, but important just the same. Number 10, run like nobody's watching. Some of us are afraid of what others will think when they see us out exercising. Most people have a positive reaction to seeing others working out. Those that don't are probably in need of exercise themselves or have a skewed perspective on what exercise should look like. I mean, maybe they're just mean people who shouldn't be listened to anyway. I say, let's pray for them. Personally, I enjoy a little humor, so I wear t-shirts like this that poke fun, and they reduce expectations. When I see other runners who are further along in their training than me, they understand. They understand that everybody has to start from somewhere. The running community is extremely understanding and super supportive. If you're interested in these kinds of shirts, I'll provide a couple links below. Number 11 is be patient with yourself. Know right off the bat that it takes time. One reason that the Olympics are not held every year is because it takes time to make a competitive athlete. Goals are great, but you achieve your goal through training. Embrace the training. Feel stronger week by week and be proud of each training session that you do. And remember to modify your training if your body is telling you to. Finally, relax and have fun. There will be good days and there will be bad days. Running can be so darn temperamental. Celebrate the good days and even the small wins. Enjoy all the benefits running has to offer. Brag a little. You're a runner now.